Alright, hi everybody. Today we're just going to be doing a quick little, it's not really a tutorial, it's just really an example and just a little bit of some recommendations on my part. Today we're really going to be talking about LifeProof. Now, LifeProof, if you don't know, is a great phone case company. A lot of people say their cases don't sit flat, they don't, um, they don't make very good use of the speaker that's between the camera and the LED light. They don't make use of that very good. And some people just say that they're too expensive for how much they hold up. But I'm going to tell you why that's completely false. And just by looking at this video so far, you're probably wondering why Tommy has 3 LifeProof cases. And well, this isn't all of them. I probably have owned about maybe 10. These are just ones that I picked out. Some of these are still able to be used. This one's obviously on my current iPhone. It's actually very new. It's been on about a couple days now, less than a week. And we're just going to talk about some very key things. The first thing I want to talk to you about is that these cases will probably, at the best, will last you at normal use about 6 months. If you only put it on when you're going to be going out somewhere where you think that there's a good chance of being around water or something, maybe it'll last you a year. But I'm going to tell you what to look out for. Another thing people talk about is that they just aren't built well. I'll go over those. And that you see this thing here. This is, I'm going to say right now, this is because I have a Zag screen protector behind it. I always install both at a time. Zag is another great company I will talk about another time. But today it's just LifeProof. So, which one's the oldest? This one. This one is the oldest case that I have. You might notice there's a white piece of paper. That rattling is actually the switch that literally rotted off. You'll also see that the button is completely worn off. You'll also see that the buttons are almost unrecognizable. In fact, they're falling off. That's good. That's good, though. I'm glad it did. Why? Because look at the rest of it. Look at these edges. Look how worn down they are. Look how round they are. In fact, they're so smooth, it doesn't even feel like hard rubber anymore. In fact, the rubber in some spots is actually so worn off, the plastic is actually showing. This really stopped being used as a case that I would take out somewhere or carry with me in the event of inclement weather. It actually became a work case that I used most of last summer, I believe. That's why it kind of looks like this. But it really hasn't been used for anything since. In fact, it has been retired because it can no longer serve its function with these buttons. Okay? So, I also have a white piece of paper back there. Why is that? Because I'm normally one to buy gray phones. In fact, the window is actually dislodged. And I also just want to make sure that the phone is as white as possible because this will not attract the sun if I'm on the beach, which I don't go to the beach very often, so this wouldn't really count. As you can see, the first couple things is the switch. Now, you can see these edges, how round they are. I would never use this out in public. It's just in bad shape. Look at the home button. It's falling apart. We'll get to that. So, I'm not going to rip this one apart because it's just in such bad shape. So, I'll move to this one. This is the most recent one that I used. I used it for about 6 months. I've been using it basically non-stop. Occasionally, I would give it an off day. Between now, the time of this recording, so July 26th, to about March, early March, when I came back from my vacation, I decided to keep it on. And it served me pretty well. Now, as you can see, by putting these two together, you can see that there are some notable differences. You don't see the shiny corners. You don't see the shiny plastic starting to show. You do see some rubber here. In fact, you also do see a defined chamfered edge. With this one, you don't. You don't see that defined chamfered edge at all. So that is something you got to look out for. When you stop seeing that chamfered edge, and when I mean chamfered, I mean a diagonal cut line that's down here, kind of similar to an iPhone 5S or SE or 5. You'll definitely know what I'm talking about when you look at those diamond cut edges. Well, on the SE they're a matte color, but those other two phones they're diamond cut. You also see I have some anti-fogging tabs in here. I just put them in here. I took the piece of paper out because I put in my new one. But for a case that's really not that beat up, I'm going to show you why I had to replace it. and that's because the switch is starting to rot off. The switch is literally rotting off. As you can see, it's just rotting off, and that's not really the first thing I noticed about it. I'm actually going to take it apart just to show you what I'm talking about. It's a pain in the freaking ass with the fingers to try to take these things apart. So, this thing right here, this is a pain. I do not like this at all. I think that this piece of latex should be stretched out the entire width of the phone case. To put, I mean, really, this thing, it lifts up, as you can see, and that was an issue because I was having water get next to my home button, and I like to keep my phones in really good shape, and I can't have that. This will happen over a period of time if it's being constantly used, the heat, expansion. It's only really just adhesed on there with glue or something, so it's what you expect out of a phone case that's been used for such a long period of time, non-stop. That's why I try not to use it, but you kind of know when you're going to be around something bad. So I put fogging tabs in here. How useful are they? I don't know. These come with GoPros. Well, they don't come with them. You buy these with a lens protector. I actually have one. Kind of reminds you of a Zag. They have the O-ring. These things hardly ever get effed up. But you should try to clean them. If you're going to take them out, though, make sure you install them the right way. Now, what should your LifeProof case look like, and what is so different? I'm going to do a comparison. Like I said, you really should get rid of it when this thing stops doing this. The water test is important. Always do your water tests and try to do it like at least every month. I would say every month if you're using it all the time. I don't know. We're going to get to another piece in a minute what I think you should do to increase the life of your LifeProof case. Ironic, right? So I'm going to put this aside. Actually, I'm going to try to compare these. So I'm going to bring my iPhone SE over here. And as you can see, look at this diamond cut. It's not diamond cut, but look at that plastic. Look how fresh that is. Look at that edge. Look at that. Just look how nice and neat and defined it is. You can see that it has that defined edge right there. That is sharp, etc. Now, if you compare it to this one right next to it, you can see that, first of all, the switch is very, very defined. This one, it's ripping off and becoming rounded. This one isn't even on there. So, as you can see, there's a huge difference. There's a huge disparity in between these cases. You know, this one still has the edge, but as you can see, these things protruding off of it or extruding off of it don't really hold up very well. So I'm going to put this one next to this one. You can see that the edge is just not there anymore. It takes a huge curve. You cannot use this near water or anything. Now, it's very possible that these two cases are part of a different generation of LifeProof case. They don't seem too different, but these things do get beat up pretty quickly. Most of them are made out of rubber. Like this one I dropped because my dog ripped it out of my hand when I was on my phone. And as you can see, there's a scar. There's a scar up here. Did its job. I tell you what, I don't drop my phones very often, but that's just something you want to look out for. Now, why do I say, did I buy all these for $85 to $90? Absolutely not. I bought a LifeProof case one time, for yeah, I'm watching Vladimir Putin videos, on Vox. Anyway, what I'm really doing is I buy it one time, and you get a warranty. Okay, you get a warranty, you pay $5 in shipping for every time it breaks. Now, do they break all the time? No. It breaks. It'll last you about 6 months to a year. After a while, you start doing the water test, and you can just see this damage. This ain't going to hold up. It's like a Dodge. You know, it's not going to hold up, so you got to replace it. I mean, the home button thing is the biggest is the biggest thing. I don't like it at all the way it's designed, but it is what it is. In fact, when I first bought, the only one I've ever paid full price for was actually an iPhone 5 LifeProof case. I wish I still had it, but I don't. In fact, the thing that made me have to get a new one with that one eventually was, well, first I bought a black one. It wasn't waterproof, and something was messed up with it, so I got a white one I ended up exchanging it for a white one at Best Buy, and after that, all my warranties were done with LifeProof.com and LifeProof customer support. This area right here started to rip up, probably because of my pulling down to open this little hatch here for the charging port, etc. But that's basically it. Just keep in mind when you're using these, they're really great investments, and you don't have to pay $90 for a new one. So if you got one that looks like this, it's beat up, it's falling apart, don't keep it. Just call it LifeProof. They will get you a new one. Sometimes they will require you to put in these numbers, a serial number, and sometimes they will even ask you for a picture. I've had to do all of that before in the past, but they have been more lenient over the years or months. It's not like anybody's trying to steal these things. These are really great cases, and they are worth every single penny. Um, People, I know my sister has cracked 2 phones. She has never, ever. She's had 2 different iPhones. She's cracked both of them. She's never gotten a case like this, and look what she has done. So please get a LifeProof. And I'm going to show you something else when I come back, why you should get one. And now that I think about it, making a second clip was actually probably the worst thing I could do, considering my only computer that can actually make a video is upstairs. I really don't feel like using it. I have to use this piece of crap. It's so old. For some reason, it was able to make videos 9 years ago, but it can't make videos now. I don't understand why. It has an SSD now. It should be able to export shit like that. I don't know. Anyway, what will make this thing last longer? Well, personally, it's not putting it in your pocket. It's actually buying one of these. I'll put a link in the description. These have a very similar warranty. Now, can you make sure that when you buy anything on Amazon, you always keep your order numbers and you always export PDFs or comma-separated values, otherwise known as CSV files, that show your purchase history and order numbers. So, Encase. Well, this one's kind of broken, but I do have 2 new ones because they broke. I actually have 2. I bought 2, and then one. This is the one I bought, and then the other one's upstairs. I haven't put it into service yet. I'll tell you why it broke. But this right here, well, I'll show you in a minute as soon as I hook this up. This right here clips in. It's a belt clip, okay? And it fits, and now the rubber is no longer rubbing on your leg or in your pocket, and you can just let it go, okay? Now, what is something to keep in mind? So anything about what this case is, you can actually turn it around. You can turn it around if you want to carry on the other side. I'm right-handed, so I like it on my right. Now, there's another really cool feature about this. This one, unfortunately, broke, so I can't show you, but there's a little tiny piece that will hit on these 2 hinges, and it will actually push out. And you can actually sit it like this and put your phone facing the opposite direction and watch a video or something in landscape mode. It's a really cool feature. This is really good. So Encase and LifeProof, very good combination of products here that both have very good warranties, I must tell you. And I recommend these things 100%. There is no other thing that I would probably spend $85 on. And I spent $85 or $90. I think I actually have the original receipt. That was literally in 2013 in March. Okay, so like, I mean, look at this. Look how worn down this is, and then look at this one. How stern and stable it is. So, don't spend $95. Don't think you have to spend $95 every time. They will give you one for $5.33 shipping and handling. Okay, so please get these. It's very great products. They, as long as you take care of them. I don't know why this thing broke, but maybe it was my fault because of me being rough with it. Maybe not paying attention to it. I mean, it is plastic, so it can break, but whatever. So I want you definitely to just think about that and go out and get yourself a LifeProof case. Don't sit there disgruntled when you crack your screen and then wonder how you're going to pay for it, because it's $130 deductible without Apple Care. It's $85 for a LifeProof case one time. So you tell me what's worth it. It's literally a lifetime guarantee of support, so definitely get them. If you have any questions or concerns or whatever, any questions, just let me know, and I'll try to do my best to answer them from the point of view of a customer, and I think I'm an expert. So that's just what I have to say, and hopefully you like this video.